Oh my gosh, it is such a beautiful night tonight that I thought that I would do another video outside while I'm out here like a crazy person just talking to the tree, according to my neighbors. At least that's what they see. Because it's so nice out. So I still have some coffee left, and I thought that it would be kind of a perfect time to share with you my favorite birthday present, other than my ghost shirt, which I also really love. But my husband got me the Tarot in Wonderland by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Eugene Smith. And I wanted this deck for a really long time, so when I finally got my little witchy hands on it, I was so pumped. So pumped, so pumped, so pumped. So I have to share with you how awesome this deck is. So obviously it's not an unboxing. I've already opened it. I've already done email readings for people with it. I have done readings for myself with it. I have used it and shuffled it and took it with me on a trip yesterday, so it's definitely not brand new anymore, but I want to share with you how awesome this tarot deck is. And I am not like, I use the book, Barbara Moore is the only other person whose decks I use aside from the Rider-Waite, really. So her art and her stories and the books, like the way she designs these cards and everything, just amazing. She's amazing, and her illustrators are always super amazing. They capture magic in the cards. Her cards seem to be Rider-Waite clones, which is wonderful, because if you can read the Rider-Waite, honey, you can read anything. You really, really, truly can. So if you want to learn tarot, a little tip for you is to get yourself a Rider-Waite. Pardon me, I'm all excited. Learn the Rider-Waite, and then I promise you can read any art deck or any other Rider-Waite clone, and most of them are easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm all excited. So learn the Rider-Waite. A little bit of coffee for me. Sorry, I am really, really hyper. So awesome book. It's magnetic, which I love. I mean, I won't, or awesome box. See, I can't even, I'm sorry, I'm out of it. So magnetic, which is great. And then you open it up and there is the book, and the inside is kind of like a checkerboard kind of thing with the magnets and ghost shirt. And then it comes with this gorgeous book. Look at this. I mean, come on. And all the pages are like really like magazine kind of style, like they're shiny and glossy, and the images they're like full color images of all of the cards. Like, gorgeous. The introduction's really cool. She talks about how there are 2 ways to read each of the cards. They don't look reversible, and I'll show you why in a second, but there's the through the looking glass and down the rabbit hole. So there's kind of 2 ways to do the cards, and yeah. And there's like little quotes throughout the book from different stories, like from either Through the Looking Glass or Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And so one quote says, take care of yourself, screamed the White Queen, seizing Alice's hair in both her hands. Something is going to happen, and that's with the tower. So there's cool like little quotes and just little parts from the stories to kind of sum up what the card means, and I just absolutely love that. As a diehard Rider-Waite fan, when I find a deck like that I can connect with, like, it is just special to me, and these images are amazing. So the book is so cool. There's spreads at the back like usual, and how to kind of do these different spreads, and then at the beginning it's just a little introduction to the cards and to what you're kind of getting into with them. I plan to do a full study of this book, so I'm actually, with this whole book of mirrors thing I'm trying, where I'm going to start keeping records and all of this crazy stuff that I think I'm going to do. We'll see how I succeed with it, but I plan to work my way through this book and actually kind of take it as a study of how Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass and the archetypes and that relate to the Rider-Waite, which relate to our life and what characters we are from the story in our own life. And I have all these crazy ideas, so I'm going to be using this as a workbook. And then when you open it up, my only complaint, and it's very minor because I won't be keeping the cards in the box, but as you can see, they don't, once you open and take them under the clear plastic packaging, they actually don't fit in the hole for the cards. So this little Cheshire cat, I hope you can see it. But that's minor, because they're going to be out anyways, right? Like, you're going to be using them, you're going to be enjoying them, hopefully, and you'll have them maybe in a bag or something like that, so not a big deal. The cards themselves are very glossy. As you can see, they're very, very shiny, full color, no borders. And what I mean by they're not reversible is that in the back, see, they're not completely the same. So I think it's all about looking at the cards as two meanings, which is how I read the tarot anyway. So I'm a big believer. No, let me rephrase that. When I read the cards, I don't really see the point of doing reversals, because I use the other cards that are around the card, as well as just the general intuition. Like, my intuition kind of tells me, like, ooh, that's like the reverse meaning for this person or this question. So I kind of just go off that. So that doesn't really bother me. If you're someone that does work with reversals, maybe that'll bug you, maybe it won't. Let me know. What do you think? But they are gorgeous. So I've got them all mixed up. I've been shuffling them. And I don't want to give away all of the cards, I mean. But some of these cards, like, they're just delicious. Look at the death card, like. Is it the end of the journey? Is she about to go home? Is that what death means? Is the transition between going to Wonderland and then coming back to our reality and going through those changes? Some of these are just like the moon. Love the moon. Love it. Very cool. And some of them are kind of dark. Like, some of them, the sword suit especially, has some really dark cards. I love this. I love this. This is my favorite Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card that I wouldn't call my favorite card by any means. It's actually one that kind of makes me uncomfortable when I see it. But this one, I love this. Like, I really feel like I can vibe with that. Temperance. Seriously. I guess Eugene Smith, who illustrated the cards, he also does like comic books and stuff, so it kind of makes sense looking at his art. I hope these mosquitoes, like, I'm being swarmed by mosquitoes. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're everywhere. So, and the aces are all kind of like this. They're the only cards in the deck that I'm kind of like, meh, whatever. I feel like there's so much more they could have done with aces, especially with the little card men that the Queen of Hearts has, but... And my only other thing with the deck is that there's no Tweedledee or Tweedledum that I could find. Unless they are in there and I am not seeing the characters the way they're depicted. Maybe when I read the book, I will figure that out. This one, the Two of Swords. Your options are the March Hare or the Mad Hatter. So it's kind of like, either way, you're going into madness, and what kind of madness do you want? And are you going to embrace your madness, or are you going to stay still? Are you going to be stagnant? Like, there are so much you could, like, so many meanings you could take from that, you know? Like, what path of madness are you going to go on? Because either way, it's mad, you know? Nine of Pentacles, look how beautiful that is. Oh. Gosh, if you could eat these, I would eat these. Like, they're that delicious. Some of the darker ones, you know? Not afraid to get a little dark. And when it does, it's just so, so beautiful. Here's the Queen of Hearts. Look, there's one of those little mosquito bastards. I can see it. This one's so sad. The Dormouse. Just desperate to get some sleep, tired of the abuse from the Hatter and the Hare. Poor little Dormouse. Love that card. Ooh, the Ten of Swords, another one. Alright, I'll show a couple more and then I will, because I could be here all night long, and then we'll kind of shuffle one, and I'm just looking. I want to know what would be something good for the pagan community right now. What's one thing that we as a pagan community can focus on? And that's what I'm going to ask the cards. Look at this one. So they're all like this. They're all gorgeous. Mosquitoes. So let's ask Alice Go ask Alice if you're 10 feet tall. Bam, 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 bam. Throwing tarot cards all over the place. Holy moly. This is what happens when I get like hyper. Let's try this again, shall we? I won't sing to them this time. I hope you can hear those crows. Alright. Okay, okay. Interesting. So, the Page of Wands came up. And he's this fun little lizard guy. And it's just kind of, to me, it's like new beginnings. I think we're on a fresh start. I think we're going into a new cycle. I feel like our passions and our energies and everything is changing. The world around us is changing, and I feel like what used to be Wicca or what used to be witchcraft or paganism to our elders isn't necessarily what we're doing now. We're changing it, we're tweaking it, it's evolving with us. So that's the kind of vibe I get. I think we're in a time of positive change, and that it's gonna, our energy is just, our focus is being put somewhere else, and I think that we're in for something good, something really, really good with this Page of Wands. Well, that's my quick, fun little review of the Wonderland Tarot by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Eugene Smith. I highly recommend these cards if you have anything to do or any form of love for Alice in Wonderland or anything like that. This is the tarot for you. This is by far the best Alice tarot that I've seen. I looked online at a lot of different decks, and by far I think this one is the one that's worth your money. And it's just, I mean, not that the card, I mean, obviously the cards are important, but the book alone, in my opinion, is just worth it. Like, it's worth it. I think it's $29.99 US, and I think in Canada it's like $36 or $39.99, or I don't know. Go on to your local bookseller, go on to Amazon, wherever, and if you're interested, I highly recommend it. It's super fun and it's super easy to read, and I think that if you love Alice, you will love this. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope that you have a magical evening that has no mosquitoes in it, and that you are happy and safe and in a good place. Until we meet again, my friends.